yeah, I still wonder about if you're a parent and somebody is affecting your child, like with these nanobots and radiation and all these things. You'd think that they don't have the ability to protect themselves. The children of the earth, they're being affected by things that they have no control over. Well, maybe I shouldn't say no control.
Well, it is. The government's trying to take your kid, a lot of times away. They'll claim that, you're not raising them the way the state wants you to. So it's just the state of affairs right now. It is tricky for parents. I mean, it really is. There's a fine line between how much you go along with them and you don't agree. I mean, to a certain extent you kind of have to go along with things, but then it can get real bad, like with the vaccinations, where it would really harm your kid. So what are you going to do? You move to another state or move out of the country, or that's a big one too, the vaccination issue, and how it's harming the children. And are you going to sit there and inoculate your kids? So it's tricky.
It seems like the universal guides aren't interfering with the beings that are trying to turn the humans into mind-controlled robots. It's kind of like if they're your parents, why don't they prevent these beings, brutalitarians, authoritarians, from dumping the nanobots and all this stuff on the humans? You think that as a parent, you'd prevent that if you could. Maybe it's just we have to have these experiences, but I don't see how, if a person's mind controlled, that they have any chance to have real guidance and a real education, because they're mind controlled not to. Their mind is controlled to do this or that, or go to this school, or on and on. So I don't know. I guess it's the way it has to be.
Well, I have a take on that. It is like Dwayne has said, enough is enough. So there's things in the making. There has to be a foundation for what we can do first, built up. But he said, things are getting so bad that it's just enough is enough, that the guides will step in and do something. But it does take agreement. They can't just override people's free will if they're agreeing to all this. So, the art or the challenge is to, how can you get a person's agreement for them to save themselves? No one's going to save them, but how to help them wake up to their real self. Because the agreement part, that's the big issue here. It's like, things are going bad, but if people keep agreeing to it, then the real guides can't really do anything. But what's happening now with the projects, and that's part of like helping people to see what is going on first, and then from there they can make the better choices. It's not like they're going to come in and change things. It's not about change, but it's about waking up, becoming more aware, and then things will get, offset what's going on here.
There's so much going on right in front of everybody right now on Earth. You see that this Pakistan and who is it, India or something, have their whatever you want to call it, mental attitudes, and aren't seemingly getting along very well, and they have atomic weapons, both of them, I guess. And then you have the United States looking like they have a reason to go kill people again in Iran if Iran doesn't act the way that the United States government wants them to. It's getting to a point where everything could go, I guess, called crazy with their powers anytime. It seems like, and then you have these people, whether it's true or not, that are claiming that they travel through time and they come back, and some are saying that it is going to happen. These atomics are going to be used, and so I don't know if people are even paying attention to that, unless something directly affects them, right? And physically, it seems like the human brains aren't to the point yet where their intent isn't interested in anything other than what they already know, learned from their parents and the religions and the scientific community and the educational community. It's just a crazy place right now that it could be super poisoned or very worse any day. It's just like you never know what's going to happen. They're almost like what people would call insane, the ones that have these powers at their hands that can do so much damage to the earth. And we've already seen and heard things about like previous existences on Earth, like Atlantis and like Lemuria, and effects of what they caused to happen to themselves, and even planets that have blown themselves to pieces. It's just so amazing. And then we have this physical realm. You never know what's going to happen, because the sun itself can have what's called a supernova. It could blow up any instant too. So it's right like now that everything's so important to get this real guidance and real education, so they don't have to come back for countless lives of suffering and being controlled and all of this stuff that seems to be going on Earth. The poisoning, they invent more ways to make mankind suffer more and more and more for their delight? Is that these authoritarians, brutalitarians' goal is to just get people to suffer as much as possible without exterminating them? They just prefer to make it worse and worse and worse for everybody. So anyway,
real guides have a unique position at this era here, because they do have an opportunity to influence creation. I mean, the idea is to make your way out of creation, and let creation be what it is. But it's gotten to the point where even the people who are becoming more aware, it's hard on them, and they don't like it, so that the real guides are stepping in to do a lot. A lot of it's unseen, but it comes down to agreement. Like, who's going to agree to wake up and and to really do something to help the planet, instead of just relying on other people, the politicians or the environmental groups or whatever. And it's more than recycling cans. It's seeing the bigger picture and using your intent really to really want to do something to wake up and better the situation and contribute.
Yeah. And then we have this stuff about dreams and experiences there that aren't this physical stuff so much, but I guess it's still part of the psych realms. A bunch of it still is connected to the psychic stuff. Oh, I was just looking at something I wrote down. I guess Dwayne said this about the new you, and how it actually rewires, I guess this is just an example, the human mindset. Sort of like a new brain by testing this new you sound. So that's what's being offered and shared in the hopes that, well, I don't know about hopes. If the real guides are having anyone listen to this to find out for themselves by testing it, maybe the most important thing that has come to you in this lifetime. Such an important gift to become more aware about what life's all about and what is a way to get to the place called real universes, which is, I guess, a viewpoint, a universal position where you don't have to have any physical senses anymore, and that you're a free being.
It's not just the idea of the. Well, it's not just the idea of the isness or the real universes, but it's actually doing it. You talk about doing it, focusing on recognizing this isness and not just the idea of it, because people have ideas about things and then they just say, oh, okay, I know about it. So intellectually they think they know. Oh, I know about the is. But the idea is different than the actuality of it. So we encourage people to, you'll know when you meet it, because it's so real. It's more real than anything you've experienced, and you know it's real because you just know. It's not even a knowingness, but it's a recognition that will be, it's just, what can you say? It's real, So it's different than the intellectual idea part of it. Which a lot of people are into, especially the New Age movement and the spiritual movements. They know this, and a lot of them that come to this too. They read Dwayne's books and they think, oh, I got it. I know what he's talking about. But they don't yet until they stepped in and really, beyond themselves and what they think it is. And that takes a lot of courage and risk-taking cleverness and creativity and imagination. It takes everything you got and more so. That's where humility comes in, because you kind of let it go to the guides. You let it, because they're there to pick up the pieces, so to speak, and help you along and point the way, show you what you need to, what's next for you. So it's humility. You think you know it, you don't, because the more awareness you get, you see the more you don't know. You know that you've heard that, but it's really true with awareness, especially because life is so big. All you can do is just contribute and do the best you can. Get on your own adventure. Take the risk. Sing the new you. Listen to this show. It tells it like it is.
Thanks, pal. I just noticed I wrote down something that Dwayne had said. It goes, the greatest challenge lies in the discovery of the real awareness of each person, and then the plan to escape the dark lords, the political rulers, and the gods of man into real universes of pure freedom. It must be quite a difference as a comparison to being in this earth consciousness, awareness about what's going on, becoming aware of all the things that are being done here on earth, compared to what's called pure freedom. That was very helpful for me. I was just thinking that what we're discussing today, it helps me become more aware too of trying to understand this challenge, the discovery of the real awareness. That's just like a child, I guess, trying to learn to do anything, walk, talk, do things. Well, I guess unless you have something else you'd like to mention to everybody today, Val, we'll sing the new you.
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you, Tim, for the show. It's great.
Yeah, thanks for making it happen again.
Mm-hmm.
New you. Wonderful. We'll see ya.